Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's go ahead and get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures continue to rise this morning with S&P futures up 0.5%, Dow futures up 0.47%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.36%. Risk assets are almost uniformly higher this morning as the U.S. Senate voted to adopt a budget blueprint for President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package, and investors await the monthly U.S. jobs report. Meanwhile, in markets, Brent crude is nearing $60 a barrel, and yields on benchmark treasuries have climbed. In U.S. pre-market trading, Pinterest has climbed 11% on better than expected sales, and Johnson & Johnson advances after asking U.S. drug regulators to clear its experimental COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. There are signs of progress in Biden administration's stimulus deal, with the House already having adopted its budget resolution, but will likely need to vote again today to agree on the Senate's language. Once this is done, Democrats will be able to craft a relief bill in the coming weeks that can pass without any Republican votes under special budget rules. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index has risen for 5 days straight, the longest stretch in a month. Earning results have spurred gains in stocks, including the region's largest construction company, Vinci SA, and drug maker Sanofi. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
I've been watching the S&P futures all morning, and you're seeing them, tick higher over and over. As you said, there's multiple bullish factors here. This morning, you're looking at the Johnson & Johnson news about asking for the EUA for its COVID vaccine. That's a big positive. You're going to see some movement in Johnson & Johnson this morning. The non-farm payrolls report, everybody's watching for it. The expectation is for the U.S. employers to add about 105,000 jobs in January. I think that's a little high, but we'll see what it comes out with. In the progress that's being made with the Biden stimulus bill, that's a plus as well. So you add up all these factors, and you're looking for a higher opening and hopefully some carry throughout the day. I will caution that it's Friday. A lot of times you don't want to be holding positions over the weekend, but I still think we're going to have a very positive opening today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's go ahead and move into earnings to watch today. Bill, what type of earnings are we looking at?
Well, let's talk about what happened last night. Gilead, ticker GILD, they delivered a 4-cent beat on higher revenue. You see the stocks increasing this morning by 2.7%. TMUS, T-Mobile, TMUS, they missed by 5 cents, but it was on higher revenue. However, the stock's trading lower by 2.5% this morning. Activision, ATVI, they delivered a 19-cent beat on higher revenue, and you're seeing that stock appreciate this morning. It's up 8.5%. Snap, hey, they delivered a 2-cent beat. It was on higher revenue, but the stock is off by 7%. Why? Because expectations were so high going into this one. It was a high bar for them to meet. Pins, ticker PINS, they missed by 2%. They missed by 2 cents, but it was on higher revenue. The key here was their increase in active users, which is why you're seeing the stock up 9.5% this morning. Estee Lauder, ticker EL, they conquered this one. They delivered a 92-cent beat on higher revenue, and that's why the stock's up 5.2% this morning.
Do you have any insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Got to do some, legwork this weekend. Got a lot of earnings announcements coming out next week that are going to be very interesting, including Hain Celestial. That's ticker HAIN. They're poised for a 9% move when they release on Tuesday. Lyft, they're set for a 10% move when they release their earnings announcement on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, we got Twitter coming out. They're poised for a 14% move. And let's not forget Yelp, ticker YELP. They're poised for a 14% move when they release earnings on Tuesday.
Moving into our economic reports, Bill, what type of reports are we expecting today?
Well, the non-farm payrolls just came out. The numbers came in a little weak. They came in at an ad of 49,000. Remember what I said earlier, they were looking for an ad of over 100,000. So this is a weak report. The S&Ps aren't moving much off of this. They're trending a little bit lower, but not significantly. A gain is a gain. So their market seems to be happy that you had an increase in jobs. We're also looking at international trade in goods and services this morning. And at 1 o'clock, you want to watch for that Baker Hughes rig count figure. It's an important number. These rig counts have been steadily increasing week after week, month after month as of late. So I'll be watching that one, Baker Hughes rig count.
Well, moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on CureVac, ticker CVAC. They've entered into a pact with the UK government to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. So CureVac's current vaccine candidate in development is supported by Bayer, that's ticker BAYRY, while the next generation vaccine candidate that are currently being developed by CureVac are being made with GlaxoSmithKline, ticker GSK. CureVac's share price is up 5.39% in pre-market. In other news, Microvast announced that it has entered into a joint development agreement with Oshkosh, ticker OSK, to facilitate future battery collaboration and innovation. Oshkosh will also confirm that it agreed to invest $25 million as part of the previously announced $450 million private investment in public equity entered into connection with Microvast's previously announced pending merger with Tuscan Holdings as ticker THCB. One on Visor, ticker PFE. It's announced that it's received a patent extension from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for its treatment for advanced breast cancer. Visor share price is up 0.29% in pre-market. In other news, Yum China, ticker YUMC, has been named the official exclusive supplier of Western food catering services for the 19th Asian Games Hangzhou 2022, which is scheduled to run from September 10th to the 25th, 2022. Yum China's share price is up 1.13% in pre-market. One on Coca-Cola, ticker KO. It's set to sell its $669 million South Africa bottling stake. So Coca-Cola's share price is up 0.39% in pre-market. Lastly for me, Hyzon Motors, a fuel cell truck startup, has agreed to go public through a merger with Decarbonization Plus Acquisition, ticker DCRB. The SPAC has held talks about raising new equity to support the transaction that values the combined entity at more than $2 billion. A deal could be announced within the week. So DCRB's share price is up 22.34% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news down into specific alerts on sectors and events. That way, when something pops, I quickly see it and I can decide if it's an actionable item or not, or if it's something I want to, put in my library for a future reference. I have this FANG alert, watch it closely. And one of the top overall stories I'm seeing is regarding Amy Klobuchar, who is the new Senate Antitrust Panel Chair. They sent out a draft to introduce the new legislation that she's planning on bringing out. Essentially, this would bar companies that dominate their sectors from making acquisitions unless they can prove that their deals don't create applicable risk or materially lessen competition. The thing is, she proposed this, in the last session of Congress, and it didn't gain any traction. But this is her idea, so she's pushing forward with it, and with the hopes that her Democratic colleagues will join hands with it. But you're dealing with a lot of lobbying money here. I don't think it's going to be successful. I think she needs to redraw up her plans, but she is introducing it. It looks like, according to the draft. I look at Apple. And we're all talking about the electric vehicle with Apple. That's the hot news there. And Kia, which is their partner there, is said to have approached their partners about plans to build an Apple car in Georgia. So this is really taking steps forward. Google, apparently they just announced a new multi-year strategic partnership with Twitter late yesterday. Then I got my Dow Jones 30 alert that I look at on a regular basis, and Chevron. They made an offer to buy the rest of NBLX in a stock swap deal this morning. Johnson & Johnson, as we know, they submitted emergency use authorization application to the FDA for their COVID 19 vaccine, and Pfizer, ticker PFE. They withdrew their emergency use application for their COVID-19 vaccine in India. So it's something to watch on Pfizer this morning. My buyback alerts. Cboe announced a $200 million stock buyback. That's ticker CBOE. Prudential, ticker PRU. They said that they are reinstating their share buyback program. And eBay, ticker EBAY, said yesterday that they are adding an additional $4 billion to their stock buyback program. I have my outlook or my guidance alert, and Cardinal Health hit on it this morning, ticker CAH. They're raising their EPS guidance to a range of $5.85 to $6.10. This is an increase from the previous forecast of $5.65 to $5.95. So that's a big uptick. Road, this is ticker ROAD. It's also known as Construction Partners. Their project backlog as of December 31, 2020, was $655.6 million worth of contracts. Now you compare that to the number that they had in September, which was $608 million, and you see that there's some good road ahead for ticker ROAD. MSI, this is Motorola Solutions. They delivered a strong EPS report last night, and they did mention a record backlog. I need to check more into that, but that's kind of interesting for ticker MSI. My dividend alert, Estee Lauder, ticker EL, they declared a 53-cent dividend this morning. And PepsiCo late yesterday, they declared a dividend of $1.02.
Well, moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I picked CureVac, so ticker CVAC. It's pretty big news how it's entered into a pact with the UK government to develop its COVID-19 vaccine. I would say let's get this one under $112. It's up a little bit higher. It's still at 5%. If we can get a little bit lower, I think that this is something we can definitely see some appreciation for today. It's already got some momentum, so it's one we can expect to continue to move a little more. I'm picking a second pick, Hyzon Motors. So, it's this fuel cell startup company that's going through a merger to become public. It's got some attention behind it. It's up a little bit high, so it's another one that I'd watch, and I'd look for a dip. Earlier it was only up about $16.58 in pre-market, so it's gone up a bit since then, which showing that it's got some popularity behind it. But I would look and see maybe at around 10 to 10:30 a.m. to see if this has a dip in appreciation, to find a time just to trade it quick for the day, get in, get out. But those are the ones I'm looking at. Which ones are you looking at today, Bill?
I'm looking at Yelp, ticker YELP. Now, earnings are out next week, so this is kind of a run into earnings. I looked at the option flow data, and it's very positive. Now, one of the things that always interested me is institutional ownership, and these guys are chock full of good names, not the normal names that you see. I'm talking Boston Partners, AQR, Point72, Two Sigma, Citadel, and others. So they got good money managers behind them. And so that's a really good sign. And Yelp has a substantial amount of cash, and they're well positioned for growth when this economy entirely reopens. The stock is priced for a 4.9% move when they release on earnings on Tuesday. But I think we're going to start seeing some price appreciation in Yelp, ticker YELP, today.
Well, let's move into what's hot off the press. So this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Bill, looking at our Newswire alerts and seeing the headlines streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Take a look at Garmin, ticker GRMN. They just won an initial determination in their Philips patent dispute. And then there's one that I find kind of interesting, ticker BLCT. This is Blue City. They just launched a voice chat room function on its Blued app in mainland China. It really sounds more like a conference call, but they released it in Japan. They released it also in India. So that's something to take a look at, BLCT.
Interesting. Just a quick headline that came in on Open Door, ticker OPEN. Shares were in focus Friday. So today, shares were in focus following a cautious report from the Wall Street Journal with the headline, Open Door needs to show its work.
Kansas City Southern, that's KSU. They just raised their quarterly dividend to 54 cents. It's a 1% yield.
Looks like AirNet ticker ANTE, has entered into an investment agreement with Northern Shore Group.
News headline saying WTI oil is headed for its best week since October. That's not surprising.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing this morning, Shane.
Same here. So that'll do it as far as what's hot off the press. However, traders, keep in mind, you can receive these same breaking stories just like us simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. It will definitely up your trading game. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about our picks from Thursday, I had VG Acquisition, ticker VGAC. It opened at $15.31 and hit a market high towards the close at $17.90 for a 16.91% gain. So that one, just great pick, great, smashed it. Second pick was Snap, ticker SNAP, opened at $60.13, and after a volatile day, closed at $58.31 for a 3.02% loss. They ended up doing great. It was an earnings play. They ended up, having earnings, but they just didn't meet the expectations, just like Bill was mentioning. So a little bit of a loss, but hey, we covered it with our VGAC earnings, and it went pretty well for us. So how did yours end up doing, Bill?
Well, I did Activision, ticker ATVI, which it handily beat both benchmarks of $1 gain or 1% gain. The stock opened up at 93.35 and it ran up to 94 something in the first 30 minutes of trading, which was good, and sold off a little bit. But this was an earnings play, so sit around and wait. Well, when they released that earnings, that stock just shot up. It actually went from, it opened up yesterday, as I said, at 93.35, and it hit a high yesterday after the earnings announcement of 103.69. That's a 10% gainer. So yeah, Activision was a really good choice yesterday.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.